For purposes of this program, please note no particular manufacturers, tool companies, or brands are endorsed by this program. Some procedures exhibited in this program may be regional in context. However, we have tried to portray all job tasks as uniformly as possible. This program is designed to introduce you to the process of imprinting concrete. We will guide you through two different techniques: using platform tools with a powder release agent and using embossing skins with a liquid release agent. We will also cover how to clean and cure a slab after imprinting. As in all jobs, there are safety measures to be practiced throughout. The use of personal protective equipment illustrated in this video is in compliance with CFR 1926, Subpart C. As you're performing these jobs, please be aware of the criteria a supervisor or teacher will use to evaluate your performance. Such awareness will help you learn to perform at an acceptable rating. Let's begin with Job Sheet 2. Imprint a slab using a platform tool with a powder antiquing release agent. The equipment and supplies you'll need for this job are: a surface to be worked, color hardener, powder antique release agent, edger, bull float, hand float, screed, shovel, assorted platform tools, detail tools, margin trowel, hand trowel, Fresno, tamper, high pressure water hose, brushes, protective sheeting, and personal protective equipment. The criteria a supervisor will use to evaluate your performance of this job sheet are: safety, use of tools, general appearance, and overall performance. Protect all surfaces adjacent to the work area from spills, overspray, or runoff. Step 1. Read the manufacturer's directions for the coloring and release agent you'll be using. Determine the amount you need for this size of slab you're working with. Step 2. Lay out the imprint pads and plan the job before the concrete arrives. Step 3. The concrete should be edged and floated to the required texture. It should be ready for imprinting when the desired impression can be produced. Step 4. Broadcast about 2/3 of the color hardener on the surface. Float the color hardener into the slab using a bull float and hand float. The hand float will lay down the edges. Step 6. Reapply color hardener to any areas that appear to be lighter in color until the surface is a uniform color. Use the remaining 1/3 of the hardener. Step 7. Float the second coat of hardener into the slab. re-edge, and float or trowel the area. Step 8. Depending on the surface needed, a Fresno can be used as a final finish before imprinting. Step 9. Re-edge and float or trowel the edges of the slab. This is an optional step depending on the surface needed. Step 10. Apply the powder release agent to the imprinting pads and to the concrete surface. Step 11. Imprint the edges of the surface with the same textured embossing skin of the imprinting tool you'll be using. Step 12. Carefully place the first pad. The placement of the first pad is critical since all subsequent pads will be placed square to it. Step 13. Place the remaining pads in the first row. Step 14. When applying an imprinting pattern against a wall, column, or other obstacle, use a texture skin or a floppy imprint design for that purpose. Step 15. Force the pads into the concrete to the desired depth by walking them in or by using a tamper. When using a tamper, weight should be placed on both adjacent pads to keep the pattern from drifting until the imprint is even. Step 16. Carefully align the second row to the pads already in the first row. Continue to tamp in the newly placed pads. Step 17. Carefully lift the first pad straight up and align them with the imprinting pads in the second row. Continue until the entire slab has been imprinted to the desired depth. You may want to apply additional release agent to the pads during placement. Step 18. Detail the imprinted areas and grout lines as needed using detail tools. Step 19. Clean the platform tools using soap and water. Step 20. Ask your instructor to evaluate your work. Step 21. Clean the area and put away tools and materials. The next job sheet is to clean and cure a slab with a powder antique agent. The equipment and supplies you'll need for this job are a surface to be worked, hard and soft bristled brooms, pressure washer or hose and water source, soap, hand sprayer, medium nap roller, a curing agent compatible with the final sealer, and personal protective equipment. The criteria that a supervisor will use to evaluate your performance are safety, use of tools, release agent coverage, concrete set evaluation, surface texturing, and tool maintenance. If it's practical, the slab should be allowed to set for a day or more prior to cleaning in preparation for cleaning and curing. Step 1. Sweep the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 2. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 3. Sweep the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 4. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 5. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 6. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 7. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 8. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 9. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 10. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 11. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle broom. Step 12. Clean the surface to remove all loose material using a soft bristle bro Step 2. Wash the slab with water. Sweeping the wet surface with a broom can give you a thorough rinse. Generally, a water hose will be adequate, but in some cases, a detergent or high-pressure wash may be required to meet the desired look of the final product. Step 3. If you're required to remove a release agent, use a brush to scrub the slab with a solution of soap and water. Spray the surface while it's still damp, evenly cleaning and agitating it with a soft nylon push broom. Rinse again with clean water. Step 4. Use detail tools, in this case a hammer and chisel, to address imperfections in the surface. Step 5. Give the surface a final rinse. Step 6. Allow the slab to dry before applying cure. Step 7. Read and follow the instructions for the curing agent. Step 8. Transfer the curing agent to the sprayer. Step 9. Hold the sprayer nozzle approximately 6 inches from the surface and move the nozzle smoothly and continuously to create an even coating. Step 10. Work from one edge of the slab to the other to avoid having to walk over sprayed areas. Note: according to industry standards, the slab is normally sealed 28 days after it has been placed and finished. Step 11. Ask your instructor to evaluate your work. Step 12. Clean up your area and put away tools and materials. Refer to the MSDS for the proper methods of cleaning and disposing of material.